Jack died instantly. His many friends rushed to his body and released it by its legs. They beat the stomach area and the chest as well to make sure Jack was really dead and no longer suffering. An infatuated woman who had frequently listened to Jack's performances in the taverns approached the body and bared one of her breasts. She guided Jack's lifeless hand to it, moved the hand backwards and forwards, and then she moved the hand up and down. The hangman returned to the gibbet and cut off a yard of the rope which had hanged his prisoner, rolled it up and put it in his pocket. There was a customary superstition among hangmen in those days that hangmen travelled to an alehouse in Fleet Street where a rope which had hanged a man was sold at 6pence an inch. He had been genuinely sorry for having hanged Jack, despite his bad temper. He drank several tankards of ale to drown his sorrow. When Sally's sister, Meg Parry, also a prostitute, attended the hanging, Meg insisted on another prostitute called Liz Scott, whom she insisted was to attend as well. They attended together. Like a number of prostitutes, Liz had lesbian tendencies, as did Meg. The two women shared in common a fascination for public executions which inspired them. The two women kissed each other on the mouth and more indiscreetly than that rammed each other's fingers into each other's bodies. They were both intoxicated with gin, and while the hangman had finished doing his duty, they came miraculously at the same time. It was only then that they took their torn, dirty dresses off and rolled over each other on the grass, indulging in urgent, bizarre frolics. In another part of the execution field, a rich family had gathered. The family consisted of an anxious but indulging mother, aged about 35, and 4 little girls whose ages ranged from 6 to 10. Their mother, Lady Antonia Booth, had spoilt them ever since they were born. She only agreed to take them to Tyburn because her children, who were of a ghoulish nature, nagged her repeatedly. Lady Antonia was determined to keep her daughters on the outside of the field so that they would be unable to watch the hanging. She remained in her carriage most of the time, while her daughters got angry with her for denying them their wish. They had on white cotton dresses and floral decorations in their hair. They had black circles under their piercing grey eyes, which gave them a very sinister look. They formed a circle and held hands. Then they began to dance round and round, delightedly singing a moribund song, a song appropriate for the occasion, even though McArandy's execution had already taken place. The song they sang went as follows. McArandy was hanged on the gibbet high, not long after the deed was done. 'Twas a desolate place at the back of a shed, a place for the timid to shun. McArandy will long be the banquet of crows, which will flock on his carcass to batten. The sumptuous morsels which fall from their beaks, the lank weeds beneath them will flatten. And this is by courtesy of Mr. William Harrison Ainsworth, although the words have been changed a bit. The children were all livid with their knackered mother. They chanted another macabre ditty, raising their voices to an intolerable level in order to get back at Lady Antonia for refusing to let them watch Jack swing. At the foot of the gibbet the mandrake springs, just where the creaking carcass swings. Lady Antonia finally lost her temper. I will write to Monsieur Gautier on returning to the house. I will see to it that you all have a French lesson lasting for 2.5 hours. I will also wait until Papa comes home. I will describe to him the events of this morning and of your horrible singing. I will ask him to give you all a thoroughly good hiding and an extra French lesson. It was a punishment in that family to give children a French lesson because they hated learning French. Meg Parry, the prostitute, the sister of the wicked prostitute Sally continued to flounce up and down the filthy Spitalfields street with her bare feet sinking into the sludge. The sludge contained human excrement, soiled linen for wiping bottoms with, vomit, raw sewage, rancid meat that had gone off and which stank enough to make anyone retch. Meg lifted her stone gin bottle to her lips to wipe out the smell. Soon, a large number of punters emerged from the tavern and into the street. Due to the news that Jack had been hanged, there was an atmosphere of complete euphoria in the street and throughout London. A celebration party took place. A burly, jovial-looking town crier walked up and down the street and other streets in the neighbourhood. 12 o'clock and all's well, McArandy was hanged on the gibbet high. He continued to repeat his words at hourly intervals until his throat was hoarse. When he became too exhausted and when his throat was too dry to chant the uplifting news, he stopped and sat down in the putrid street where he had started to chant and where Meg had put the news into song. Suddenly his formerly pale face became ruddy once more, and his healthy, apple-cheeked face froze into a peaceful and contented smile. That's all, folks. The end. Do enjoy your read.